Have you ever noticed how uneasy silence makes us? In a crowded elevator, in the pause after someone asks a difficult question, in the stillness of a dark room at night. The quiet feels heavy. We rush to fill it with words, with noise, with distraction. But what are we really afraid of? Is it the silence itself, or the self we meet inside it? And for thousands of years, wisdom traditions have pointed to silence not as emptiness, but as the birthplace of truth. The Taoists spoke of the way, a harmony beyond words, found in still rivers and unmoving mountains. Buddhists sat beneath trees, entering vast silence until the illusion of the self dissolved. In the desert, Christian mystics left behind cities to hear God's voice in the wind. And the Sufis, they called silence the language of God, spoken in every pause between breaths. Today, we treat silence as something to be avoided. Our lives are saturated with sound, the hum of traffic, the endless scroll of voices online, music piped into every store, notifications tapping on our nerves. Psychologists call this noise pollution, not just sound, but constant interruption. And it changes us. Studies show that even low-level noise raises stress hormones, disrupts focus, and shortens our patience. When silence disappears, so does clarity. Yet silence still finds us in rare moments. Waking up before the city stirs, walking through a forest path, floating on your back in a quiet lake. These moments feel sacred, though nothing special has happened. It is not the scene that changes us, but the silence that opens within us. We sense something vast, a presence, a calm that doesn't demand anything from us. Even in the loudest places, silence carries power. Great leaders are not always the ones who speak the most, but those who know when to remain silent. In the pause after a question, silence gives weight to the words that follow. In conflict, silence can disarm anger, creating a space where true listening happens. Silence is not weakness, it is presence. Every work of art is born from silence. Before the first note is played, music lives in stillness. Before the first brushstroke, the canvas is silent and white. Writers speak of the blank page, terrifying and pure. But out of silence emerges form. Silence is the room of creation. But why do we resist silence so strongly? Because silence has no distractions, no escape routes. In silence, the masks we wear begin to slip. We hear the questions we avoid. Who am I when no one is watching? What am I running from? This is why silence feels dangerous, because it holds a mirror. Yet science shows silence is healing. Neuroscientists discovered that 2 hours of silence a day can trigger the growth of new brain cells. Silence strengthens memory. It lowers blood pressure. It restores balance to stressed nervous systems. In silence, the brain resets, like a forest regrowing after fire. Across cultures, silence has been honored. The Japanese concept of ma, the pause between notes, the space between words, the silence that gives shape to sound. The Quakers sit in silence during worship, waiting for truth to rise. Indigenous elders teach that silence is the highest form of respect. But in our modern world, silence is vanishing. We carry noise in our pockets, lighting up with every buzz. Even when the world around us is quiet, we reach for headphones, podcasts, endless voices to fill the space. But here is the paradox. The more noise we consume, the hungrier we become for silence. Silence is not loneliness. Silence is not absence. Silence is a presence so deep that it doesn't need words. When you sit quietly with someone you love and nothing needs to be said, that is silence. When you watch the stars in awe without commentary, that is silence. Silence connects us to ourselves, to each other, to the universe. So tonight, when the world grows still, resist the urge to fill it. Sit in the silence. Feel its weight, its warmth, its depth. Let it ask you questions. Let it show you truths. For silence is not empty. Silence is everything.